When Adam and Lily Monroe woke up on a cold October morning, they had no idea it would be the day that would shatter their world forever. Their son, 17-year-old Ethan Monroe, had left for school as he always did, backpack slung lazily over one shoulder. A tired smile playing on his lips, and that familiar glance over his shoulder as he said, "See you later, Mom, Dad," but later never came. Hours passed. First confusion, then irritation, and a gnawing fear that something was terribly wrong. When Ethan didn't return home by sunset, Lily tried calling his phone again and again, but it rang out each time before going to voicemail. Adam drove around their small town of Woodbridge, stopping by the local diner where Ethan sometimes grabbed lunch, his friends' houses, the basketball courts, the park. Nobody had seen him. No one even remembered speaking to him after noon. Panic set in, cold and swift, as they realized their boy had simply vanished. At first, when they approached the Woodbridge Police Department, they were met with polite, scripted reassurances. "He's probably just blowing off steam," one officer said with a casual shrug. "Teenagers do that. Maybe he's at a friend's house." But Lily, her mother's intuition, screaming louder than ever, insisted that this wasn't normal. Ethan was responsible. Reliable. The kind of boy who would text if you were running 10 minutes late, let alone hours. Adam, usually the calmer of the two, found himself raising his voice, demanding that something be done. "Please," he begged, gripping the edge of the front desk so tightly his knuckles turned white. "Something's wrong. You have to help us find our son." It wasn't until the following morning, after Lily broke down sobbing in the lobby, that the police finally agreed to file a missing persons report. A small search party was formed. Officers canvassed the town. Flyers were posted on telephone poles and in coffee shops. Social media posts were shared thousands of times, each carrying a photo of Ethan grinning under the afternoon sun, wearing the same blue hoodie he had on the day he disappeared. Days turned into a week. Leads came and went. Someone thought they saw a boy matching Ethan's description getting into a black SUV near the outskirts of town. Another tip placed him at a gas station 2 towns over. None of the sightings were confirmed. The Monroes barely slept, taking turns sitting by the phone, praying it would ring with news, any news. Friends brought casseroles and hugs that felt empty. The house was too quiet, the absence of Ethan's laughter too loud. His bedroom was just as he left it that morning, like he could walk back in any moment. On the 12th day, something amazing happened. A jogger found a worn-out backpack in the woods near Miller's Creek, just 1.5 miles from the Monroes' place. Ethan's textbooks, wallet, and phone were ruined by water. That discovery flipped the script. What once seemed like a teenage runaway situation now looked like a possible abduction. Forensic teams combed the area, but rain from the past few days had washed away most traces of evidence. A darker vibe hung around those trees, something that sent chills down even the toughest officers' spines. The Monroes got called into the police station again. Detective Sarah Kent sat across from them, a seasoned pro from the city here to help crack the case. She was kind, yet straightforward. She said there was still hope, but things had definitely taken a serious turn. Kent paused, unsure how to answer Adam's question. "The backpack looks like there was a struggle." Lily gasped, gripping Adam's arm so tight it hurt. "Who would even want to hurt our guy?" Adam pleaded, his voice cracking. Kent shook her head. "We're chasing every lead, but we need your help. Think hard." Did Ethan seem worried or mention anyone new? Anything off? The Monroes racked their brains, revisiting every conversation, every offhand comment. Then Lily remembered something. 2 weeks before Ethan vanished, he had mentioned a new friend named Caleb, someone he met at the basketball court. He seemed different after that, Lily said, her brow furrowed, quieter, nervous even. The name Caleb was unfamiliar to Ethan's other friends, raising more red flags. Detective Kent dug deeper and uncovered something alarming. A man named Caleb Foster had a history of petty crimes and had lived in Woodbridge under various aliases. His last known address was a trailer at the edge of town, abandoned months ago. Armed with a search warrant, officers swept the property. Inside the crumbling trailer, among the decay and filth, they found chilling evidence. A journal filled with pages and pages of erratic handwriting. Drawings of young boys with their eyes scratched out, obsessive entries about making them stay. And taped to one grimy wall, dozens of photographs of teenage boys, most cut from yearbooks or printed from online. In the center of them all was Ethan's school photo, pinned with a rusted nail straight through his forehead. The discovery turned the search into a manhunt. Helicopters circled overhead. Roadblocks were set up. News outlets flooded into Woodbridge, their cameras capturing the anguish on Lily's face, the grim determination on Adam's. For days, Caleb Foster eluded capture, slipping through the cracks like a ghost. Each hour that passed without finding Ethan felt like another nail in the coffin of hope. Then came the call. A farmer reported hearing screams near an old barn miles outside town. Police rushed to the scene. What they found inside the barn would haunt them for the rest of their lives. In the far corner, hidden beneath rotting hay, was a trapdoor leading down to a root cellar. The air was damp, the stench unbearable, and there, chained to a rusted pipe, weak and terrified, was Ethan Monroe. He was alive, barely. Ethan's rescue was nothing short of a miracle. He was rushed to the hospital, where doctors treated him for dehydration, malnourishment, and injuries too numerous to count. He had been beaten, starved, and terrorized beyond comprehension. But he was alive. When Lily and Adam were finally allowed to see him, they collapsed at his bedside, sobbing with relief and heartbreak. Ethan, through cracked lips and tear-filled eyes, whispered the words they had prayed to hear. "I knew you, come for me." Caleb Foster was captured later that evening, hiding in a drainage ditch not far from the barn. He was charged with kidnapping, assault, and attempted murder. His trial would reveal more horrifying details, ones the Monroes would spend a lifetime trying to forget. Testimony revealed that Caleb had been stalking Ethan for months, grooming him under the guise of friendship before luring him away. His motive, as sick as it sounded, was simple: control. Ownership. The desire to possess someone so completely that their life was no longer their own. Ethan's road to recovery was long and arduous. Physically, he healed faster than anyone expected, but the emotional scars ran deeper. Nightmares haunted him. Loud noises made him flinch. Crowded places overwhelmed him. Lily and Adam sought therapy, not just for Ethan, but for themselves. They struggled with guilt, with the endless questions. How had they missed the signs? Could they have saved him sooner? Were they bad parents? Their therapist told them what they needed to hear over and over again. The blame belonged to the monster who hurt Ethan, not to them. They had fought for their son. They had never stopped fighting. In time, Ethan found strength in small victories. Going back to school, joining a support group, speaking cautiously at first about what had happened to him. His story, once a source of shame, became a testament to resilience. He gave interviews, bravely sharing his experience in hopes of preventing it from happening to others. His parents stood beside him, proud of the young man who had endured so much, yet refused to let it define him. Years later, at Ethan's college graduation, Adam and Lily sat in the front row, tears streaming down their faces as their son crossed the stage. In that moment, they saw not the broken boy who had once been chained in darkness, but a survivor, a fighter, a young man who had reclaimed his life from the hands of evil. They would never forget the nightmare that almost stole him away, but they would also never forget the light that brought him back. Sometimes, when Lily stood in Ethan's old bedroom, she would trace her fingers along the doorway where his height had been marked year after year, each line a testament to growth, to hope, to the relentless march of time. She knew now more than ever that love was not just a feeling. It was an action. It was the desperate search, the sleepless nights, the endless prayers. It was the unwavering belief that no matter how dark the world became, you did not stop fighting for the ones you loved. Because sometimes, that fight was the only thing that could bring them home.